Today's topic is sensory transduction. Definition: the phenomena of transduction of environmental signals into neural signals by the receptors is called sensory transduction. Steps of sensory transduction: first is arrival of stimulus to the receptor, then production of receptor potential, and then production of action potential in sensory nerve. First, arrival of stimulus to receptor. So, arrival of stimulus in the form of mechanical force causing depression of skin, light or electromagnetic wave stimulates photoreceptors, for example, rods and cones. Chemical like sodium chloride on the tongue, cold or warm temperature stimulates thermoreceptors, and sound energy stimulates auditory receptors. So there is a various form of stimuli which can stimulate receptor. Now after stimulation there is a production of receptor potential. So now what is the receptor potential? It is potential changes that occurs across the membrane of the receptor due to its stimulation, known as a receptor potential. So how this receptor potential is developed? Different stimuli initiate change in membrane permeability, and so there is a opening of ion channels in sensory receptor and allows current to flow. So mostly there is a development of depolarization, but one exception is there in photoreceptor where light causes hyperpolarization. Now properties of receptor potential: it is not action potential, but it is similar to EPSP and EPP. EPSP means excitatory postsynaptic potential and EPP end plate potential. Properties: graded response, summation, refractory period, local response, and duration of receptor potential. So first is graded response. Its amplitude increases with increasing velocity of stimulus application and increasing strength of stimulus. So it is graded response. If we give more strength of stimulus, there will be a more response. Not obey all or none law like action potential. Summation property: receptor potential from two stimuli can be added if the second stimulus arrives before the receptor potential develop due to first stimulus is over. So there is a summation. Refractory period not present in the development of receptor potential. Local response: receptor potential cannot be propagated. Duration of receptor potential is approximately 5 to 10 milliseconds. Now production of action potential in sensory nerve. So this is Pacinian corpuscle. So this is structure of Pacinian corpuscle. So this is connective tissue lamina, and inside there is a nerve fiber. Okay. So this portion is unmyelinated. After that there is a first node of Ranvier. Okay. And this portion is myelinated portion of nerve fiber. So this is deform area. So now this receptor Pacinian corpuscle, when we give pressure to the skin, they are stimulated. So there is a formation of deform area, means opening of channels, and so positive ions comes in and form this area, deform area. So this area from this deform area to the first node of Ranvier is known as a transducer region. After that there is a production of receptor potential, and when it excite the first node of Ranvier, there is opening of sodium channels which is present in the node of Ranvier. It is also known as a spike generator region because there is a number of channels present, more number of channel present inside the node of Ranvier. So all the channels are open up and give a larger response. Okay, and when it crosses the threshold level, which is 10 millivolt, action potential is now developed. Okay, so now receptor potential is converted into action potential. Now recording of receptor potential. So it is basically recording occurs it is done in Pacinian corpuscle because it is large sized, easily dissected from mesentery of experiment animals. Anatomical configuration allows study with microelectrode. Recording electrode are placed on the nerve fiber, one on unmyelinated portion and other on the second node of Ranvier. Generation of impulse in cutaneous receptor means Pacinian corpuscle here. They are basically touch receptor. Because of their relatively large size and accessibility, they can be isolated and studied. We already discussed this thing. Myelin sheath of sensory nerve begins inside the corpuscle. First node of Ranvier is also located inside, whereas second is usually near the point at which nerve fiber leaves the corpuscle. So observation after recording electrical responses to pressure of 1x, record A, 2x, record B graph, 3x C graph and 4x record of D graph. Strongest stimulus produce action potential in sensory nerve. Okay, so E. So this is action potential. When we give a strongest stimulus, there is a action potential. Now similar response persists after removal of connective tissue. Now in this figure you can see here connective tissue which is present around the nerve fiber of Pacinian corpuscle. Now it is removed and again this receptor is stimulated, then again same graph will be obtained, but only difference is more prolonged E. Okay, graph E, there is a more prolongation. It is because of partial loss of adaptation and it is because of presence of connective tissue around this nerve fiber. So loss of adaptation here, and that's why there is a prolonged E graph. Now in third observation, generator response persists but action potential was absent. Here you can see E graph is absent. Okay, it is because of this node of Ranvier, first node of Ranvier was blocked by pressure or with the narcotics. Okay, so this is very important thing, first node of Ranvier, because when receptor potential reaches first node of Ranvier, then opening of channels, sodium channels, more number of sodium channels are there, and it crosses threshold level which is 10 millivolt, and then there is action potential. But in this figure you can see that this first node of Ranvier was blocked by pressure and narcotics. That's why there is a absence of action potential, graph E. In fourth observation, all responses disappeared when sensory nerve was cut and allowed to degenerate before the experiment. Now properties of receptors. First is specificity of response, production of receptor potential on stimulation, then adaptation, effect of strength, effect of velocity of stimulus and low projection. Now we will discuss one by one. So first is specificity of response. Each receptor is easily stimulated by only one type of appropriate specific stimulus. This specificity of response by particular receptor is called law of adequate stimulus. For example, adequate stimulus for rod and cones of retina, which is photoreceptor, is light. Okay, so only light can be a adequate stimulus for rod and cones. We can stimulate this receptor by giving pressure on the eyeball, but it is not adequate stimulus. Okay, it is not adequate stimulus. So for rods and cones, adequate stimulus is light. Likewise, another example is adequate stimulus for Ruffini's receptor is warm water and at a low intensity of stimulus. Now, production of receptor potential on stimulation, as we know that when there is a stimulation of receptor, there is a deform area. It is because of opening of channels. So positive ions comes in. Okay, so positivity inside the membrane increases and there is a production of receptor potential because of depolarization. Okay, adaptation, when receptor is continuously stimulated with the same strength of stimulus, the receptor respond at very high impulse rate first, but the frequency of action potential decreases progressively. So there are two type of receptor, tonic and phasic. Tonic receptors are also known as a slowly adapting or incompletely adapting receptors. In this receptor, what is the role of action potential here? It is keep on firing continuously during stimulus application. So after giving stimulus, there is a continuous firing of action potential. Okay, examples are muscle spindles, which is mainly responsible for postural adjustments, pain and cold receptors, baroreceptors and chemoreceptors, which is responsible for regulation of blood pressure. So tonic receptors, then phasic receptors, rapidly adapting receptors. They fire action potential at a progressively decreasing rate during stimulus application. Receptor potential is short. Examples are Meissner's corpuscles, Pacinian corpuscles, and olfactory receptors. Now, mechanism of adaptation. So certain examples are there, like rods and cones adapt by changing their chemical composition, and mechanoreceptor like Pacinian adapt due to redistribution of fluid. Now, exact physiological mechanism for adaptation is failure of transducer mechanism to maintain receptor potential despite continued stimulus application. So first mechanism is there is a failure of transducer mechanism. There is a no maintenance of receptor potential even though there is a stimulation. And another is failure of spike generator to sustain train of action potential despite presence of receptor potential. So here receptor potential is produced, it is maintained, but it is not able to sustain or maintain a train of action potential. So there are two reasons for adaptation. Now this failure of spike generator to sustain train of action potential despite the presence of RP, it is maybe due to increased membrane conductance to potassium or the inactivation of sodium channels. So just think, if there is an increased conductance of potassium ions, then what happen? As we know that potassium, virtue of potassium is efflux. Okay, there is an exit of potassium from inside to outside. So negativity increases inside the membrane. Okay, so there is a hyperpolarization. So there is a no action potential. If hyperpolarization is there, okay, so there is a no conductions of action potential occurs, no firing of action potential occurs. And another, if inactivation of sodium channels, then there is a no depolarization. If there is a no depolarization, no action potential. Okay, so there is a reason for that. Now, effect of strength of stimulus. Receptor potential amplitude depends on strength of stimulus. If response given by receptor is to be doubled, strength of stimulus must be increased 10 times. This phenomena is known as a Weber-Fechner law. Effect of velocity of stimulus, another property. The magnitude of receptor potential rises with rate of change of stimulus application. So it applies to removal of stimulus. For example, if we remove the stimulus, then there is a off response, there is a no response. Okay, so effect of velocity of stimulus. And last is low projection. When any part of sensory pathway is stimulated. Okay, so sensory pathway means from, we can say, from receptor to the cerebral cortex, somatosensory area. Okay, so this is sensory pathway. So when any part of this pathway is stimulated, there is a conscious sensation referred to the location of receptor is produced. This is known as a low projection, and it is explained by condition called phantom limb. Now what is phantom limb? So after amputation of limb, because of any reason, sometimes patient complains pain in the absent limb. That's why it is called phantom limb. And this pain sensation are produced due to irritation of damaged nociceptive and proprioceptive afferent at the stump of amputated limb. So sensation produced are projected to area where receptor used to be located. So this is known as a low projection.